Hello, welcome to this session. What is FBNVR? It is figure based non-verbal reasoning. Yes, you guessed it right. It has something to do with pictures. In this discussion, we shall discuss two main kinds of FBNVR questions. The first type is next in the series. The second one is odd man out. In next in series questions, there will be 3, 4, or 5 figures, and there will be a specific pattern which needs to be identified and then applied to find out the next figure in the series. In odd man out questions, the procedure is same, but the one figure that does not follow the common pattern is to be identified. Supposedly, there are different kinds of aptitudes in any human being. The general aptitude consists of logical and verbal aptitude. Another aptitude that is of useful to firms is the artistic aptitude. Identification of patterns is one thing that we keep doing in life always, and more so at work. Hence, the requirement for this kind of aptitude. FBNVR questions are always there in Public Service Commission PSC exams. They have also been a regularity in bank exams. More recently, the software and manufacturing industries have also embraced this form as one of the more important topics in their aptitude tests. These kinds of questions are being asked by new generation IT companies like Infosys, CTS, etc. in their tests. Although these are questions that actually test artistic aptitude and pattern recognition, there are certain standard steps that any test participant can do. Those steps are what form the core of the discussion in this presentation. What is it that everyone can do on seeing a picture? We can actually look for the beauty, do some pattern recognition, and of course solve the aptitude question behind the picture. But this only happens to those who have artistic aptitude naturally. So, how do we get it? There is a long way to go here. But as a first step, what all of us can do is to enumerate. Enumerate means what? All of us know how to count, is it not? Yes. So, count. An extensive counting is called enumeration. So, find out what all is countable. Find out everything that is countable and do count all of them. That is called enumeration, which is extensive counting. So, count whatever is possible to be counted and however it is possible to be counted. Remember, whatever, however. Look at the picture. What do you see? What do you see? 15 ovals. Yes, that is what we see. No issues here. We are used to seeing what is imminently visible, not the details. Now enumerate. What do you see? You see 15 ovals grouped into 5 groups of 3 ovals each. Each group has 3 kinds of ovals, one large, one medium, one small. So, there are 5 large ovals, 5 medium ovals, and 5 small ovals. 5 large ovals, 5 medium ovals, and 5 small ovals. Yes, this is what enumeration is. We did see all of these, but we are not trained to see the details that we just discussed. That is what people with artistic aptitude have in abundance the sense of keen observation. Now that you know how to enumerate what you see in this slide. What do you see? You should have seen 5 triangles, 9 line segments, 6 points, 3 midpoints, and 3 pairs of parallel lines. Did you see this much? If yes, you are on track. If not, you should do this exercise more often. The more you do it, the closer you are to the aim. What is symmetry? Symmetry is similarity across an axis. Look at the figure. Is it symmetric? If we consider the x-axis, is it symmetric? Did you consider this axis at all? If you did, the answer would be yes. Did you consider the y-axis? If your answer is yes, then you would have thought that the figure is not symmetric. The ideal way is to consider both the axes and then scout for symmetry. It is obvious that across x-axis the figure is symmetric because along the axis, if we fold the figure, one half will fill exactly the other half. That is symmetry. With y-axis, that sort of symmetry does not happen. Across that, we cannot fold and fill one half with the other. But we can cut the right half, bring it on top of the left half, and it will fill it perfectly. The symmetry across the x-axis for the previous picture is what we call mirror image symmetry. And the one across the y-axis that we discussed is what is called direct symmetry. 2 different forms of symmetry, that's all. As soon as we see a picture, our eye should be on the lookout for mirror image symmetry or direct symmetry in the picture. This is something that every human being with or without artistic aptitude can do. Can symmetry be only along x-axis and y-axis? Nothing like that. If you can define an axis and find out symmetry, well, fine and good. You've become professional in analyzing symmetry. Look at the figure. It is pretty obvious that there is no symmetry across the x-axis or the y-axis. It is equally obvious that the picture is symmetric. So, it is symmetric across what? That axis is what is shown in the picture. That is an example of user-defined axis. The final but most important principle of basic analysis is here. Look at the figure. Do you see anything? Can you identify the odd man out? Oh. Let me explain the picture. The first L suggests it is a lion and the arrow suggests it is looking upwards. The second is a monkey looking upwards. The third is a monkey looking upwards. The fourth is a monkey looking upwards. And finally, we have a monkey looking downwards. Now, identify the odd man out. Basic sense would suggest that it is the lion. But I am sure that you would have given a thought for the monkey looking downwards. That is paralysis by analysis. So, do not analyze too much. Keep it simple and ensure that the most significant difference gets the most preference. That is the principle of most significant difference. Do analysis only after the first observation does not show anything. Now, read the questions and answer the question. In the first question Q1, the answer is option A. Why? Look at the figure. In the first figure, there are 4 pluses. In the second figure, there are 3 pluses and 1 star. In the third picture, we have 2 pluses and 2 stars. In the fourth picture, we have 1 plus and 3 stars. So, in short, the number of pluses keep reducing by 1 in each subsequent figure, and the number of stars keep increasing by 1 in each subsequent figure. Now, what will the next figure be? In the fourth figure, we have 1 plus and 3 stars. So, logically, in the fifth figure, there will be 1 minus 1 that is equal to 0 pluses and 3 plus 1 that is equal to 4 stars. Now, look for that figure in the answer figures. It is obvious the answer is figure A. This is the secret of counting. Read the questions and answer the question. In the question Q2, the core alternates between black and white. Look at the first figure. The square inside is black in color. In the second figure, it is white. In the third figure, it is black. And in the fourth figure, it is white again. So, what will be the core in the next figure? It will be black. Look at the answer figures. There is only one figure with the core black, and that is C. Therefore, the answer will be option C. No analysis here, just by plain observation, we can reach the answer C. Read the questions and answer the question. In the third question, it is all about counting again. In all the pictures, there are 4 geometric figures, and all of them have a certain number of sides. It is about counting the number of sides in each figure and adding them up. In the first figure, there are 4 small figures, 2 squares, a pentagon, and a triangle. In the second figure, we have 4 quadrilaterals. In the third figure, we have 2 pentagons and 2 triangles. In the fourth figure, we have a triangle, a pentagon, and 2 squares. So, in short, in all the figures, if you add up the number of sides of all the figures, it will be 16. Now, look at the answer figures. In the first figure, we have 3 pentagons and a square, a sum total of 19 sides. In the second figure, we have a pentagon, a triangle, and 2 quadrilaterals. That makes it 16 sides. In the third figure, we have a rhombus, a quadrilateral, a triangle, and a circle. Oh, we cannot add the number of sides because the circle does not have any sides. In the fourth figure, we have 3 quadrilaterals and a triangle. The sum of number of sides will be 15. Therefore, the answer is figure B with a sum total of 16 sides. Read the questions and answer the question. In the fourth and final question, there needs to be symmetric orientation and counting expertise. The key is that each of the figures has 8 black circles, 2 in each row and each column. The x-axis is the row and the y-axis is the column. Here is where we use both symmetry and counting to get to the answer. Hope you've got a hang of how to approach FBNVR questions. Now look carefully. In the picture 1, look at the first row. There is one black circle at the beginning and at the end. In the second row, we have two black circles together. Similarly for the third row. And fourth row is exactly similar to the first row. Now look at the column. First is similar to the last, and second and third are similar. In short, we can see that there are two black circles in each row and each column. Similarly for second figure, for the third figure, and for the fourth one. Now look at the answer figures. In figure A, you can see that each row has two black circles, but column 1 has 3 black circles, so it is not possible to be the answer. In the second figure, figure B, the second row has 3 black circles, so that also cannot be the answer. In the third figure, the final column has 3 black circles, and the last row also has 3 black circles. So, figure C cannot be the answer. Look carefully. In figure D, every row and every column has 2 black dots. Therefore, figure D is the answer to this question. Please remember that there are different kinds of aptitude in any human being. Artistic aptitude is only one of those. The tips mentioned here are the preliminary steps to self-analysis about one's artistic aptitude. These methods are very scientific but will help in developing your artistic aptitude. By now, I think you would have got a hang of the idea that the more you practice, the better your artistic aptitude will become. Keep that in mind. As far as aptitude tests and FBNVR questions are concerned, ensure that basic details are looked into and preliminary analysis is done before getting on to higher analysis. These are only the basics, and there are endless possibilities as far as FBNVR questions are concerned. So, be sure that you treat this only as a stepping stone to further quests as far as pattern recognition is concerned. All the best.